Hello and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. Today I'm going to be working with my Mood Board Magic Winter Where You Are kit. And as you can see, we're out in the snow. I am using papers from Winter Farmhouse. It was a simple stories collection from around, I think, 2019. And I've told this story 1,000 times. I'll tell it again. I was I had taken a hiatus from scrapbooking and had come back. When I came back, uh, so I came back at the end of 2017, and I was happily using the inventory that I had from when I scrapbooked when I started scrapbooking. Like so, in 1999 is when I started, all the way up to like 2009. For those 10 years, I had built up some inventory, and I was happily using that. And then in 2018, I found the land of YouTube videos, and so much had changed. They were using like mixed media and products that I had never, I had not heard of washi tape. I had not used it, did not know anything about it. So a lot had changed in those uh, 8 years that I was on hiatus. I used my supplies during those 8 years. I didn't purchase, but I did use my papers and for other paper crafting projects. So around May, it was May of 2018. I went to because it was a International Scrapbooking Day. I looked up the closest scrapbook store to me, and I paid to go to a crop for International Scrapbook Day weekend. And my husband and I were not married at the time, but he lived in Canada, I lived in Alabama, and he decided to come down and spend the weekend with me while I was. So he was going to be working, and I was going to be, scrapbooking. It was going to be amazing. I was so excited about it. Well, while we were there, of course, we were in this little scrapbook store. I kept seeing stuff that just I was confused, and I didn't want to be that person that was like, "What is this? Well, what is this? What is that? How do you use this?" So I was very quiet, and I did a little bit of shopping, but I saw Nouveau drops, and I was like, "What in the world is Nouveau drops?" I didn't know. And so I told my husband, I said, I want new products in my inventory, not just old products. And we went shopping that weekend, went to Michael's, Joann's, Tuesday mornings, Hobby Lobby. I mean, I shopped, and I shopped at that little scrapbook store. So I had all of this new product in my inventory, and some of it I didn't even know how to use effectively. And I feel like I have been on a journey since 2018 of learning how to use these new products in a way that makes me happy when I look at my layouts. I'm telling you all of that to say, um, I tend to come on these videos and act like we've all scrapbooked before and we all know what's going on. And there are people who are watching our videos that they don't know. So I'm taking a step back, and I'm going to slow down how I present some of my process videos, because we don't all know. And we need to be encouraging people to get invested in paper crafting, because it doesn't always have to look like 12 by 12. I've talked about that before. There are so many mediums that we can use that are not as intimidating. You can a junk journal. You can do some memory keeping in your planner. You can use a traveler's notebook. You can do anything that makes you happy and that helps you just kind of disconnect from the stress of life and be creative. That was a long tangent, but oh, my stomach just growled. Sorry. But it's something that I'm really passionate about. I want us to continue to share our hobby with newcomers in a way that is not intimidating. We all had to learn. Okay, let's get back to what we're doing today. I'm going to go on another tangent, just giving you fair warning. So these are my photos. I have several, and I want to do a 2-page layout, and that simply means that I am going to duplicate what I do on my background twice. Does it have to always be identical? No, it does not. And I'm going to tell you, this is the second tangent, I'm going to tell you someone who does an amazing job at teaching how to create 2-page backgrounds. And that is Scrapping Quebec. It's Dorothy Guinan. She is a natural born teacher. I can tell you what I'm doing, but Dorothy does an amazing job at teaching how to take your design from your first page that you want to put a lot of effort into and make it flow seamlessly into a second page that doesn't look identical excuse me, to your first page. And I will link her channel down below. If you've not watched her, you will love her. I'm a fan, a huge fan of Dorothy's, and I always love to promote her work. I have got a frog in my throat, and I am so sorry. So this is what I'm thinking. I want to use these papers as my background, and of course I have to do all of my trimming, but I love how that dark green frames this gingham. And I had another paper that has this same print on it. Let me grab it. So it's this one. So it's the exact same print, but this is on the blue background, and this one, it is not the exact same print. I'm just realizing that they're similar. Let's just go with that. They're similar. But this one has the blue background. This one has the white background. And I want to keep the white background because I have these snowflakes that I want to use behind my photos. And I think this will pop more. I also have this red. On the other side is my 3x4 cut aparts, and there are some of these that I want to use. So I'm going to have to be strategic how I cut so that I can then frame. So this is, let's pretend like my photos are here, and I'm going to frame it something like this. So about 1/2 inch on the top and bottom. That's what I'm thinking about. And then I saw these cut aparts, these 4x4, and I don't typically use a lot of 4x4 cut aparts, but I really like this one, and I needed 2 of them because I've got 2 pages, and I want to put them in, I don't know what the deal is with this frog, I'm so sorry. But anyway, I want to put them on opposite sides so that we start creating that balance and not really symmetry, but we want to have balance and continuity. That's the words I'm wanting to use. Okay. I wanted to go through a lot of time to explain what my thought process is so that when I come back and I've trimmed my papers, you can see how it plays out. Okay, we are to the point where I have created my background. I've used this paper as my base, and I have matted it with the green paper, and that is just a personal preference that I have. I love how that kind of frames my layout. I then decided to cut my snowflake paper down 10 by 12, and I wanted that endless, seamless, vertical, horizontal, not vertical, so sorry. I wanted that appearance so that it just has this flow across the two sides. And I have done on my floral paper, I just did some random tears. Now I wanted to, the driving factor was I wanted a white edge, and I wanted it to be wide enough that I could tuck it. So this is about 1.5 inches. That's just a guesstimation. I have no idea what it really is, and I don't care. I am just needing that white edge to show through. And then I'm going to place this one so that it is similar, but it does not have to be exact, because when we're paper tearing, unless you're using a paper tearing tool, you're not going to get an identical tear. So this is how it looks. Then I took my petite burgundy paper, this one, and I cut 4 1/4-inch pieces. And there's 3 of them. What do I do with my other one? Here it is. Here it is. I want to place on the bottom, I'm going to place it on top of that seam there. And on the top up here, I'm going to tuck it. Now, that drives me crazy for things to start sliding around. So let me see if I can hold that in place and tuck that in. So it's going to look something like that. And I will probably shift all of this down just a little bit so that I have a little bit more of that gingham showing. That is what we're working toward. Now, since we know what we're working toward, I'm going to take one of these layouts away and just focused on one side and put it together for you. So there we go. This is what we're working toward. So this one is going to go away, and we're going to focus on making our left side. We are still in focus. I'm going to adhere all of this down, and then I'll be right back. I have adhered my photos, all of my layers, and I'm playing with placement of some of these 4x4 cut aparts, because I used the corners of 2 pieces of paper, and I didn't want to waste all of this paper. So I'm going to let some of these 4x4s do some decorative jobs. So I thought I would place this one down here in this corner. I had it stuck there, and now it's just playing like it doesn't want to go back. So there we go. That one's going to get adhered there. And I have these 2 that I've trimmed this one down so that I can frame it with this one. And I really, really like how that looks. I think I'm going to go ahead and ink around the edges of Baby It's Cold Outside. Just so that we can hide that white core. You don't have to use a ton of ink, just a little bit to kind of dust the edges. And that will take care of just getting rid of that stark white edge. And I'm just eyeballing it, try to center it, and that is good enough. And I'm going to pop that here. It does not bother me that I'm hiding portions of the top of these photos, because it's redundant. We know what's going on. We don't need to see these trees to know that there are trees here in the background. And we don't need to see the ceiling here to know that I'm inside the room on the porch of the cabin that we were staying in. So that it doesn't bother me. And that has given me some kind of I'm diagonally going this way. I'm coming across those photos. I'm going diagonal this way, going across all the photos. It's just bringing focus in on the photos. Okay, now it's time to add those finishing touches. This is my title. This is a subtitle. We're just going to add some finishing touches to just make this layout more pleasing. I just remembered, I think I said I was going to take away the right side and just work on the left side, and I ended up showing you both. That's a bonus. I completely forgot what I was doing because I got sidetracked when my dogs needed to go outside, and then I saw the kitchen was dirty. You know how we are as women. We just, whatever we see at that moment, that's the thing that we handle. So when I came back upstairs, I had completely lost the script about what I was doing and just flew right back in. Anyway, putting that aside, the photos are of my husband and I early in our dating years. We had gone snowshoeing. It was my first time ever. This photo here cracks me up because he insisted that I bundle up like this. And I kept telling him, it's too hot. I can't do that. When you get outside, he said, it's going to be different. You've never done this before. And he's Canadian and knows the weather. I'm from the South. I didn't know. I should have listened to myself because I am very hot-natured. Before menopause, I was very hot-natured. Before perimenopause, I should say, I was hot-natured. So we were on the porch, and I was almost to the point of throwing up. I was so hot, bundled up like that. We get outside, and as you can see, my hood is already down. And then eventually I unzip my jacket because I am so hot. And, you know, we're snowshoeing, so, you know, we were kicking up you're using a lot of energy, and yeah. There's a photo I have when we came back that my head is, like, my hair is stuck to my head because I had sweated so much. That is the story of me. I am very hot-natured. Anyway, back to this. We had a fabulous time snowshoeing, and can't wait. It is the only time I've ever done it, and I loved it, and I can't wait to do it again. So that is something that I hope we have. I think we've got a snowstorm cooking in this weekend. Maybe next weekend, if we still have plenty of snow, we can get out and do some snowshoeing. That would be a lot of fun. I added some chipboard pieces all from this collection. And I think that is pretty much all I'm going to do to decorate this 2-page layout. I am going to add a little bit of journaling here, telling what this day is of, and that we were at Pickerel Lake in Ontario. And that will be it for this 2-page layout. Don't forget to look down below and click on Scrapbooking Quebec's channel. You will be so glad you did. Thank you, friends. Come back and we will chat again soon. Bye-bye.